Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United, from transfer news and match updates to exclusive stories. We've got you covered. If you're a true Red Devil, hit subscribe and join the United family. Glory, glory, Man United. Major twist in the striker market. Victor Gyokeres is now reconsidering a move to Manchester United. The Swedish forward had made it clear he wanted to join Arsenal, but talks between the Gunners and Sporting Lisbon have completely stalled. Sporting are demanding around 68 million for their goal machine, and Arsenal still haven't met those terms. That has opened the door for Manchester United, and according to fresh reports from Portugal, Gyokeres is now giving United a second look. Why? A key reason could be his strong connection with Ruben Amorim, the man who signed him at Sporting. Gyokeres recently told France Football just how much Amorim means to him, saying his style of play suited me perfectly. I can't thank him enough. And now, with Amorim in charge at Old Trafford and United still searching for a proven number 9, the pieces may be falling into place. Gyokeres has scored a stunning 97 goals in 102 games since joining Sporting from Coventry just over a year ago, and a reunion with Amorim could be the move that brings him to the Premier League. Meanwhile, Arsenal are turning their attention elsewhere after already landing Kepa, Zubimendi and Christian Nørgaard, and are reportedly closing in on Chelsea's Noni Madueke, another player who could be on the move after Enzo Maresca's recent comments. But make no mistake, the Gyokeres situation is far from over, and United may now have the upper hand. Victor Gyokeres is reportedly reconsidering a move to Manchester United after Arsenal's talks with Sporting Lisbon reached an impasse. Gyokeres had made it clear that he wants to join the Gunners, but Sporting's demands have complicated things. They want a fee of around 68 million for the striker, who has scored 97 goals in 102 games across all competitions since joining Sporting from Coventry in 2023, but Arsenal have yet to meet their demands. As a result, a new report from Portuguese outlet Correio da Manhã is claiming that Gyokeres is rethinking his future and is now giving Manchester United a second look. The 27-year-old has a strong relationship with United boss Ruben Amorim, who was the man in charge when Gyokeres joined Sporting. In a recent interview with France Football, Gyokeres hailed the impact Amorim has had on his career. "I came here, it's been great since day one. I've developed a lot here with the team," he said. "We have a lot of amazing memories together as a team, winning 2 championships in a row, for the first time in 71 years, I think it is. It's an amazing achievement. Of course, Amorim played a big part of this because he was the one who really wanted me here, and his style of football that we played under him suited me very well, I think. I can't thank him enough. The style of play we had under him suited me perfectly. It was a shock when Amorim joined United last year. I'd never seen a coach leave in the middle of the season when everything was going so well. No hard feelings. Yes, it was surprising, but I totally understand his decision." Arsenal, meanwhile, have already signed Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi and Christian Nørgaard this summer, and are also closing in on a deal for Chelsea winger Noni Madueke. When asked about Madueke's future at the Club World Cup, Blues boss Enzo Maresca told reporters, "My message to the players and to the club is that I want just players that are happy to be with us. The ones that are not happy, they are free to go. It's not for Noni, it's for all the players we have. But again, Noni has been very good during the season and very good tonight." The Marcus Rashford saga continues, and the signs point to a summer exit. He Manchester United forward reported back to Carrington for pre-season, but his late arrival just minutes after Ruben Amorim had left has raised fresh questions about his future at Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford's future Manchester United remains unclear, and he arrived at training 8 minutes after Ruben Amorim departed, but the club claim this is not an unusual situation. The forward is back at the club for pre-season, having spent the second part of the recent campaign at Aston Villa, whom he joined on loan after being frozen out in Manchester. Those at Villa Park opted against triggering their 40 million option to buy him permanently. Rashford arrived at Carrington at 4:47 p.m. on his own on Thursday, 8 minutes after his head coach had departed. The Men claims the 27-year-old has been training in the afternoons on an individual basis this week, and his late arrival was just part of his schedule. Rashford arrived through the back gate entrance at Carrington, whilst Amorim used the front gate. The club have denied that the academy graduate was arriving at the club's training base to discuss his future, which remains unclear, as he and Amorim still don't appear to see eye to eye, after the United boss was a vocal critic of some of Rashford's behaviours when he first arrived. Rashford scored the first goal of the Amorim era when he notched in a draw Ipswich in late November, but quickly he saw his minutes decline. He was dropped for the Manchester derby at the Etihad and never found a way back. Amorim later claimed he would rather include one of the United coaches, who is into his 60s, on his bench instead of Rashford. He also criticised the forwards' application in training and said they could not align their views on key issues. He said after sanctioning his loan exit, "I couldn't get Marcus to see the way you're supposed to play football and to train the way I see it. Sometimes you have one player that is really good with one coach, and the same player with another coach is different." In another telling sign that Rashford will be looking for a new club this summer, he has seen his shirt number taken away. And he hasn't been handed a new one after United decided to give the No 10 shirt to new signing Matheus Cunha. Rashford last played for United against Victoria Plzen in the Europa League on December 12th. It is understood that the player's dream move would be to Barcelona, but so far they've pursued other targets. The likes of Newcastle have been credited with interest, but on loan, whilst the Manchester outfit want an end to the saga and would prefer a permanent exit. Manchester United's pursuit of Bryan Mbeumo has hit yet another hurdle. The Red Devils have made the Brentford forward their top attacking priority after missing out on several key targets, but negotiations remain tense. United have already had 2 bids rejected, with Brentford holding firm at their 63 million valuation. Now there's a new twist. Nottingham Forest are back in for Jon Wissa, Mbeumo's teammate, as they look to replace Anthony Elanga, who is set to join Newcastle. If Forest land Wissa, Brentford could raise Mbeumo's price even further, making it harder for United to get the deal done before their pre-season tour in the USA. Brentford's director of football, Phil Giles, recently spoke to Sky Sports, confirming interest in Mbeumo, but insisting there's no guarantee he leaves this summer. He said he had an unbelievable season. If the deal is right, it's possible. If not, he stays. Despite Mbeumo having just 1 year left on his contract, Brentford are showing no signs of backing down easily. With Tottenham out of the race and Mbeumo favouring a move to Old Trafford, the pressure is now on Manchester United to act fast before the situation spirals out of control. Manchester United face another issue as they attempt to sign Brentford star Bryan Mbeumo. The Red Devils have put the forward right at the top of their transfer shortlist as they aim to solve their goal-scoring issue. United have already had 2 bids turned down to the Cameroonian, with the Bees remaining firm on their 63 million valuation. United remain keen on signing him and are hopeful of a deal being complete ahead of their pre-season tour to the USA for the Premier League Summer Series. But there are some doubts. Tottenham were linked with a move, only for Mbeumo to prioritise a move to Old Trafford. And now transfers elsewhere could see United's chances of signing Mbeumo over the coming weeks dwindle. Nottingham Forest are attempting to sign his teammate Jon Wissa this summer, having seen their previous attempts fail, with The Athletic revealing that they have lodged a fresh bid for his services. Forest are pursuing him as a replacement for Anthony Elanga, who is expected to complete a move to Newcastle over the coming days. Should Wissa move to the City ground, that could see Brentford sharply increase their demands for teammate Mbeumo. And that could trigger United into ramping up their negotiations in order to get a deal over the line before that. Speaking recently, Brentford director of football Phil Giles denied that a deal was close to being done. As quoted by Sky Sports, he said, "There's significant interest in Bryan. I think it's been well publicised and spoken about, his preference. I think from what I understand he's also, if needs be, happy to stay at Brentford next year as well. Let's see on that. I think our position is that he had an unbelievable season last season. We expected interest in him. If that deal's right, there's a deal to do. If not, then he stays. We've spoken to Bryan and his representatives. It's not a given that he's going to depart this summer. There is interest. He had a great season last season, so it's inevitable there's going to be interest in him. If we get the right offer, there's potentially a deal to be done, but there's only so much we can say on that." Mbeumo, 25, enjoyed a sensational season for Brentford last term, having scored 20 goals in all competitions. As it stands, he has just 1 year remaining on his current deal in West London. Breaking news out of North London Arsenal are reportedly close to giving up on their pursuit of Victor Gyokeres. The Gunners have been locked in tough negotiations with Sporting Lisbon over the 27-year-old striker, but it now looks like a deal is on the verge of collapse. Sporting wants 69 million guaranteed, with 60 million of that paid up front. But Arsenal's current offer falls short, with part of the payment still tied to performance bonuses. Gyokeres has already made it clear he wants to move to the Premier League and skipped pre-season training in Portugal, expecting the deal to go through. However, after intense talks over the weekend failed to yield a breakthrough, Portuguese outlet Bola claims that Arsenal have stopped reaching out a strong signal that they may walk away entirely. This is a major blow for Mikel Arteta, who is desperate to bring in a top-class number 9. With Gyokeres proving too expensive and a deal for Benjamin Sesko already failing due to fee disagreements with RB Leipzig, Arsenal could be left scrambling for striker alternatives. Will they reignite talks or turn to a new target? Let us know who you'd like to see leading the line at the Emirates. Arsenal are close to giving up on a deal for Victor Gyokeres, it's claimed, after still failing to reach an agreement with Sporting Lisbon over a financial package for the sought-after striker. The Gunners have been locked in talks with Sporting over a deal for Gyokeres, 27, after making the Swede their primary striker target. But a delegation led by Andrea Berta, the club's new sporting director, were unable to agree a deal with Sporting during face-to-face talks in Portugal recently. Gyokeres was told he didn't have to return to pre-season training on Monday alongside many of his teammates as the club looked to thrash out a deal. He was told he could stay away until Friday with the expectation that the two clubs would get a deal agreed and he wouldn't have to join, having made clear that he wants to leave. Speculation over the status of the deal has been rife in recent days, with Sporting demanding a guaranteed $69 million for their number 9, with the vast majority up front. Portuguese outlet Ebola now claim that Arsenal are about to give up on achieving a deal after failing to reach out to Sporting to continue negotiations. That comes after intense talks over the weekend between both clubs. Those discussions failed to yield an agreement though, with the report claiming that the deal is now close to collapsing. It's understood that Arsenal and Sporting are struggling to agree the makeup of the transfer fee for the want-away Swede. But Sporting wants $69 million in total, with 60 million up front and the remaining 9 million in add-ons. So far, Arsenal are looking to deal with 56 million up front, 4.5 million in add-ons, and then the remaining 8.5 million in performance-related payments. Thus, it's not all guaranteed money. As such, there's a stalemate. The player has already indicated that he will not return to pre-season training tomorrow as he tries to push through a dream move to the Premier League. News that the deal could now break down will come as a major blow to Mikel Arteta, whose side lacks a quality number 9. It remains to be seen if talks will continue after a break in negotiations or if Arsenal will move on to other targets. The Gunners have also been heavily linked with Benjamin Sesko this summer, and the Slovenia star was the subject of transfer interest from the club last summer before eventually signing a new contract with RB Leipzig. It's understood that Arsenal also struggled to agree a fee with Leipzig for Sesko, though, before approaching Sporting over a deal for Gyokeres. Sesko has been linked with other clubs, including Al Hilal, who are said to be considering a huge offer for the frontman after learning they are unlikely to sign Victor Osimhen.